Welcome back. It is the WXCO Morning Report as part of Mornings with Pat Kreitlow on 98.9 WXCO, online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. I am Chad Holmes along with Ian Welsh. And Ian, I saw an interesting letter to the editor yesterday in the Wausau Pilot. And it got some attention, I saw online as well. And it basically was a gentleman who was raised in a small town in New Hampshire who now lives apparently in Rothschild. At least that's where he says, in terms of his letter, he says Ken Barker of Rothschild.
All right.
And he basically says that he is A-OK with a funding cut for the public schools because he was in a school, a one-room school, with one teacher, 20 kids, and that he turned out okay. And that they had a genius teacher and everything was great. And it didn't cost all that much money.
Okay.
There's two things that can be true. I think that having small class sizes is a great thing. I think that having genius teachers is a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to count on the idea that you don't have to spend any money in order to have great teachers or great facilities or great books, great information, everything that's needed for a great education is very, very short-sighted.
It is.
And again, something that I've talked about is when you have a budget, and whether it's a local budget, whether it's a state budget, whether it's a federal budget, whether it's a family budget, your priorities are set. And if you decide that funding our schools is not a good way to spend part of your budget, that says a lot about you. I would like to see, and I'm not saying spend extravagantly on things that are not needed, but at the same time, the idea that, we're going to get a wonderful result by spending no money is a very, very dangerous thing, in my opinion. And I think that the public schools here in the state of Wisconsin are not asking for extravagance. They're asking for the tools needed to give our youngsters in our communities the best education they possibly can.
Yeah, just a basic money for basic tools and resources. That's what we're asking for. We're not asking for like a fancy electronic classroom with all these bells and whistles. But just have the essentials for the classrooms, like have books, have the arts, have pencils, have notebooks, have just these basic resources that kids need to grow and learn.
And frankly,
that's all we're asking for.
This gentleman who talks about, the one-room schoolhouse, hey, we could build a lot of one-room schoolhouses. You would have to build a lot of one-room schoolhouses because in certain areas, there's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids, indeed.
Again, the idea, we didn't spend a lot of money back in my small New Hampshire community where there's only 20 kids in the entire school and one teacher. Well, why can't we all do this? I turned out okay. It's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Times have changed. So there's a lot more kids now, and
Well, I mean, again, there are probably small communities that can have very small schools, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you still need funding for books and for all the other tools. And also, this genius teacher deserves to be paid exceptionally well.
Exactly.
I mean, is he saying that this genius teacher should just be doing it for all the goodness of her heart? A lot of teachers do a lot of things out of the goodness of their heart, but that's not the way it should be. They should be rewarded for the importance of their work as well. So again, check out WausauPilotandReview.com and read the note to the editor. Make up your own mind. Maybe this gentleman makes some points that you agree with, and that cutting funding to public schools is not such a bad thing, at least according to this gentleman. All right, well, let's wrap things up. It's time again for our number for the day quiz, as we each day wrap it up by giving Ian 3 choices for our number for the day. 2 are incorrect, 1 is correct. So 33% is basically the goal every week. If he's above 33%, it's a passing grade. If he's below 33%, it's a failing grade. But we want him to do better than that. We try to get a winning week, which is more right than wrong, which is 3 out of 5. If he gets 4 out of 5, that's an A grade for the week. And then he gets that gold star for a perfect week, 5 out of 5. And how many times have you been perfect?
Once.
So,
again, 5 out of 5.
So you got to try to get
That was a while ago.
Yeah, well, not too far. But one time he's been perfect, and we're not going to be perfect this week, but we're still going to try to get an A grade and get 4 out of 5. All right, so today our topic for the number for the day quiz is billionaires. Billionaires.
Okay.
There are more billionaires than ever in the year 2025.
I believe it.
And the number for the day is, how many billionaires are there in the world?
Okay, what are my choices?
Your choices are 2,028 billionaires.
Okay.
3,028 billionaires. 4,028 billionaires.
You know what? I'm going to say 4,028 billionaires. As I'm just roll my gun in this one, I'll go with the highest number today.
Doggone it, Ian. This week you're not going with the middle number. You usually go with the middle number.
I know.
3,028 billionaires.
I gotta start.
No, don't overthink. Don't overthink. We'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Have a good rest of your day.
You too, Chad. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
We'll be back tomorrow here on WXCO.